Anyone? Shout out. Joni.
Because I've been here once, I've been delayed. He's one of our agents in the office, and he did a fantastic floor cleaning, perfect cleaning for me. And in the midst, I got to enjoy a whole afternoon with Keith and those nuggets. That was lovely. And he did a fantastic job. I worked in the company. The other one's Anne-Marie Baham. She's helped me with a few open houses, which is nice.
Aww.
Running cover for me, so that's
great. It's good to help support each other. You guys, round of applause for Keith and Anne-Marie. Yes, Keith has a great carpet cleaning business. Anne-Marie's always so helpful. Anyone else? Mike. Oh, a shout out for Joni.
We had a situation on an FHA appraisal and I leaned on Joni a lot and I could not have done it without her.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Joni. If you guys don't know, Joni is also an appraiser. She's been a wonderful resource for many of us here in the office. So glad to hear you guys. Round of applause for Joni. Great. Anyone else? Any other shout outs? I want to give a shout out to Nasser that I think has done open house on that house going down the road here. I think for what, like 3 weeks straight? It's been a while. I always see your signs out, yours and Bob's and Kathy's. It's great to see you guys on my way home to just see your signs out and about. How has it been so far?
Okay.
Good. Good. Well, good to hear. Shout out to you because it's always great to see your signs on the way home. Anyone else?
Shout out to the commercial team. We don't see them
yes,
much, which is a good thing. But Jason, what's in the pipeline right now? How much is spending?
How much is in your pipeline pending right now?
How much, I guess, juggling right now in dollars? Roughly
65 million.
Give it to Jason.
Yeah, impressive.
Okay, so they every day show up, you know, clock in, clock out mentality, and just you know, everything's possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, the 10-year yield dropped to like 3.7, 3.6, which is like a awesome place to be because transactional volume and real estate on the multifamily and retail side goes up 200-300% just in transactional volume with that happening. So we're happy to see that. And on the whole world didn't die yesterday. The market's up today. So you know, it's not all gloom and doom.
Just the energy you guys have back there is amazing. Besides the smell, I mean, it smells like a beach when you walk down that hallway now. It's like, am I commercial or am I sitting on the shore down at Bolsa Chica? It's like, you never know. So shout out to you guys. Impressive. I love that. All right, guys. Let's have a couple other birthday wishes, shout outs. Congrats to all of you born in August. Round of applause and happy early birthday to many of you. Happy actual birthday to some of you guys on this list. I know a couple of you are here today. We want to welcome our July newcomers. I'm going to move this so you guys can see Dwight's face. And we have a couple of them in the room. So Terry and Dwight, where are you guys? Yep, stand up, stand up. You guys, welcome Terry and Dwight together. So exciting. You want to say a little bit about yourself as you just take a bite?
I'm veteran in Afghanistan, Iraq, so I'm ready to say what's part of real estate. Really good talking to the veterans, so that's what I plan on carrying my nation. I'm so happy to be here. I seen some names with some signs, and I noticed that they were here. Shannon Jones.
Yeah, Shannon's here.
Same building with somebody like Shannon Jones.
Oh, we're excited to have you. And Terry too. And Richard Sperling.
Shout out to both Richards too. I've been knowing these guys for a while before coming over here, and that was part of one of my major influences. And the Meny group.
Yes.
Shout out to the Meny group. So I got a lot of people over here that I already had connections with. And I'm excited about coming over here. So.
We're so excited to have you and Terry. Terry, why don't you stand up to say a little bit about yourself? Terry, stand up real quick. No, just say something about yourself. There you go, girl. We gotta love the Long Beach local. So excited to have you guys. Very so much a welcome. Of course, we have our iconic collective group. We have Shanty who has joined us. I don't know if you're here on Zoom, Shanty, welcome. I know Rob's here in person. Rob, why don't you stand up and tell us about yourself? Welcome, Rob.
Long Beach State, take my master's from there. I'm a veteran in the Navy, military police, deployed Afghanistan, no, Iraq, 7 months. Came back, been full-time federal employee for 2007 since. So real estate's a part-time gig for me. I'm from Long Beach, but I live in Lakewood now. So that's me.
Oh, we're so excited to have you. And thank you guys both for your service and for serving our country. Thank you. Welcome. And then Brenda, if you're on there, I've seen you on our morning mindsets. Welcome, Brenda. We're so excited to have you guys. Big round of applause for all of our people joining us this last week, really. All right, so next up, I'd love to bring up the sponsor that we have for our group today that brought you that wonderful tasty pizza. So why don't you come on up here, Marilyn, and talk a little bit. You guys, round of applause for Marilyn. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and just clip that right on your lapel, you should be good. And then these are your slides here. Bless you. All you have to do is hit this little button and it's going to go to the next slide. This button right there. Okay.
I think I can do that.
You're doing great. Yep. You can stand right there.
Okay. Hello. Thank you for having me. My name's Marilyn. I was also born and raised in Long Beach, but I went to Los Al, but my dad went to Poly and my uncle. So go Jackrabbits still. Anyway, I'm with EnviroCheck. We do environmental testing, consulting, and we provide laboratory services for any environmental issue in any structure you could think of. So part of that is residential. We also work in commercial properties, multifamily, and government buildings as well. One thing that comes up pretty often is asbestos. This can be relevant if there's going to be renovations in the future, post-water fire damage. You need to make sure there aren't any hazardous materials in the drywall or any material before you can break into it and it becomes airborne. These are some sciencey details and whatnot. These are some suspect materials. It's a little hard to read, but it's in almost everything. And people think it doesn't exist anymore because it was kind of outlawed, but the imports were never outlawed. So even if you're working with a newly constructed property, there's still a chance it could contain asbestos. You can find asbestos in like roofing mastic and things like that at Home Depot still. Lead goes along with asbestos prior to any kind of damage of material. There is a cutoff year for lead testing. It's 1978. So if it's newer than that, within most of SoCal, you don't have to worry about it. Some commercial properties will want you to do that anyway, though. San Diego and San Francisco, the year 79. They're under a different governing body. So I think a lot of people know what lead-based paint is. One more thing that's not quite as highly regulated as the asbestos and lead is the mold. Everyone has a different tolerance to it, so there is no magic number of spore counts that makes it safe inside. So if anyone's ever complaining of a mildewy smell or there's water damage in the past, this might be a good thing to look into. We can test the air or any surface or even like a bulk material, like a piece of insulation or something. Radon is an invisible gas that you can't see or smell, but it can lead to lung cancer. So that's one that you don't want to be breathing. We can also test for that. The process takes a couple days. We have to drop off a device to filter the air. Kind of looks like a hot pocket and it just sits on the wall for about 3 days, and we'd come pick it up, analyze in the labs, and let you know whether it's good to go or not. Within California, we've got 4 labs and offices. We started in Orange, right by the Angel Stadium, and then we expanded to Burbank, San Diego, and Hayward. We're also in other states, but I think California is good for today. All our labs are fully accredited. If you're interested in any of the certification process, I can send you info on that. Some of the other types of testing we do are listed on the right. That might not come up quite as often as the asbestos lead mold, but there's a lot that we're capable of. So if we're able to help, I'm available. I know everyone's busy, so I didn't want to take too long, but if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to help.
Great. So first of all, you guys, round of applause. Thank you. Yes, thank you. So if someone has a client or wants to refer you, is that the best phone number to give? Is the corporate office number?
No. No. I have cards with my cell phone
Perfect.
number
Great.
right here. I think I updated that slide, and this might not be the updated version.
Great. But we'll give out, if you have your card
yeah,
here, that's
I've got
great.
my info.
Wonderful.
I will see a text before anything else. So if it's urgent, Marilyn.
Maryland.
Yeah, Marilyn
Awesome.
Carey with EnviroCheck. Yeah,
Great.
if you need any more info, I've got our brochures that kind of give you some more details back there too.
Awesome.
What I recommend, bless you, recommend is after the meeting, get a card and put her information as a contact right away.
Yes.
And put like a note, environmental check, put, keywords like, asbestos and
Lead,
mold, whatever
mold.
that is. Why? Because we're gonna look for someone.
Yeah.
You can go on our chat groups that we have and ask, hey, do you know anybody? But then you have somebody, met in person. So make a contact right away. So it's gonna be a preferred vendor.
Great.
for you.
Thank you again, Marilyn. I appreciate you. Everyone loves that pizza. Right. And then we'll take the microphone too from you. Thank you. All right, let's celebrate our closing. So you guys, this is so exciting to see so many names on this list. We have Pat ×3, Esmeralda, Kelly, Kendra, Stelios, Shannon Jones team, Allison Van Wig ×8, Tim Horde, Trish Riley, Amy, Penny, Mark, Richard, Richard Chung, let me say that because we have 4 Richards. Isaac, Hengame, Jeff, Janet, Anthony, and I'm missing Marie down there at the bottom. And what does that equal, you guys?
Wow.
22 million. $659,900. You guys are crushing it. We took Dougie, if you remember, 80 some listings last month, you guys. I mean, it was phenomenal. That was the highest amount of listings we've actually ever taken in the office, which I thought was interesting. And we're going to go over more stats. Meny's going to talk about the market. But again, just keep that laser focus, you guys. This is super impressive. Congrats. Let's celebrate some of our new listings here to the market. Cindy Hinderberger, are you here, my dear? No? Cindy has a listing on Marbella Avenue. And I know she's pitched it here before in Carson. It's a 5-bed, 2 3/4, 3 baths there, 949. We have Lindsay Iscarca has a listing out in Victorville. It's listed for $450, and it's a 2-bed, 2 bath. Jason Default, I don't know if he's still here. Jason has a listing on Studebaker here in Long Beach. It's a residential. It's a house, not commercial. It's listed for $1,079,000, 3-bed, 3-bath. Jim Reyes has a listing out on in Hawthorne. It's listed for $930, and it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Rob, Mr. Rob, you want to pitch your listing?
I do, and I'm gonna take a little bit of liberty as an ALC member. This is a fabulous, I'm gonna, well, it's $1,058,000. It's gorgeous. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, remodeled, paid solar, new water heater, new air conditioning. The house, you can eat off the floor. It's gorgeous, all over the place. So we did our first open house on Sunday. And we had 32 groups through. So with that said, you're all here to learn about what's going on August 13th, because those 32 groups had no clue what was gonna happen on August 13th.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Don't spoil the surprise.
It's a surprise. You wake up, business as usual. I had someone say that. So it's business as usual. I'm like, no, it's not business as usual.
We enjoyed having the old rules for a minute, but truly, and people read what they read on the internet or what they read on the other stuff, and it's just way off. So keep learning what the class is here, learning what's happening. And because you all will be the ones to know about what's going on.
Yes.
Don't worry about the other people that have no clue. And especially the agents that come in who have no clue. So it just made us.
Thank you, Rob.
Passionate. It'll be a broker open on Thursday, and we'll do another open on Saturday.
Awesome.
Sold by theirs.
Congrats, beautiful listing. Rita has a listing out in Lake Balboa. It's listed for $925. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. Lior has a listing in Woodland Hills. It's listed for $1.849, and it's a 4-bed, 3-bath. And then he has another listing on Ellenville in Woodland Hills. It's listed for $1.949, and it's a 4-bed, 3-bath. All right, everyone, opening it up. Any listing pitches, buyer needs, things.
One thing to say about Lior, he doesn't have 2 listings. He has 9 listings. And I just want to point it out because, and give him also a shout out, he's not physically here in the office every day, but he put 3 in escrow the first day. So he has 6 more available. This is 2 of them for some reason. The rest didn't show. But what he did, some of the things that he did, just to show those conversations, it was to educate the sellers about the commission change that is about to happen, and then open up, you know what, I think it's a good time to sell. Nothing more, nothing less. So I just wanted to point this out. I know that you do it too, Rob and Deb. So just to, to share with you.
It's smart and really good point, Meny. Thank you. All right, listing pitches.
Oh,
you're good. Just
hi, everybody.
Yeah.
All right, I've got 2 new listings. One is a condo in Long Beach by Bluff Park. It's at 2101 East 2nd Street, unit 205. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, about 1,060 square feet for $689,900. Nice remodeled kitchen, has a parking space, overlooks, it's in the front corner, so it's got a view of Bluff Park. So fantastic location. We have an open house Sunday from 1 to 4, and I'm looking for an agent to do an open house Saturday. So if anyone's interested, come talk to me. Also have another listing, just came on the market last week. It's a 2-story penthouse unit at Aqua at 488 East Ocean Boulevard in downtown Long Beach, unit P9. Top floor, 1 bedroom with a loft bonus room that's being used as a 2nd bedroom, 1.5 bath for $799,900. What's also really great about this one is it has a rare single car garage that's inside the community garage. So it has a 4-wall, its own garage with its own garage door with storage, and it has that plus an additional parking space. So you've got 2 parking spaces.
Great. HOA for that one?
That one, I believe, is around 700 something, give or take. I can let you know. Just come and talk to me. I can let you know.
Top
Exact
floor.
amount.
That's a nice space.
Yeah.
That's great. Congrats. I
Thank
love
you.
that. Thank you, Tim. Anyone else? Listing pitches, buyer needs.
We have 2537 California in Signal Hill coming up. We'll take photos on Friday. Should be on the market, I think, Monday. It's 2-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-story townhouse, large 2-car garage, small complex, only 8 units, and the HOA is $225 a month. It's going to be on the market at $599. There's something that's in escrow now that's going to close slightly above $600. So final pricing might go above 600, but great property, great area for 600,000.
That's Maddie's first listing? Was that her?
No, that's
No,
mine.
yours.
Yeah.
Okay, congrats. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great job. Anyone else? Yes.
Hey, yeah, we have one new build condo in Hacienda Heights. It's a 3 bedroom, 2.5 bathroom. It's gonna be 2319 square feet. One of the benefits of that is an open rooftop and a third floor open loft. So you got that available, and we got one in quadruplex property in Santa Monica. So this is it's 4 different units. One of them is vacant, 3 of them is occupied. And that has a detached garage and has a big lot space for some building and all that potential, but it's close to the beach, Third Street Promenade. And the last one is gonna be a Malibu property that's gonna be coming out. This is gonna be a 1,400 square feet, but 1.2 acre lot size. So
Wow. big one.
yeah, it's a really big lot size. It's on a hill, so it overlooks the ocean and everything kind of, and it has some brushes there as well. They need some work, but that'll be out in the market in a month.
Great.
that's it.
Great job, you guys. Awesome. Great to hear.
And single family home in Laguna Hills, 1,640 square feet, should be on the market in about 2 to 3 weeks. 3 bedroom, 2
Awesome.
bath.
Good job, Veritas Group. Who else? Anyone else back here? And then I'm gonna go to Rob. Anyone else back here? Nope. Okay, Rob, what else do you have?
We have 2 that are coming up. We have one, speaking of people that were in service, it's over off of Anaheim and Park. These homes were built in 1924 for all the Navy captains. But it's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 607 square feet. Yeah. And it's been totally redone. I know everybody says, oh, it's always redone. This is beautiful. It's gorgeous, backyard, all kinds of stuff. It's in the back, and it's going to go for around 675. It is not up yet. If you want to have more info, call Deb or I. Also, the second one's off of Mezzanine and Bellflower, which is a nice area up there. And it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, mother-in-law quarter. It was originally a 2 bedroom. They're just cleaning it up, and that's going to be over $1 million. But call if you want more information about that.
Awesome.
Good job.
Congrats. Good to see you. Yeah.
I just want to say, as we're doing our buyer presentation and trying to build trust and rapport with our buyers and build client bases, what just happened? It's a really big thing, right? We just talked about inventory that's going to come on the market
There you go.
that people outside of this room don't know about,
Mhm.
right? So being able to articulate that to our buyers as a reason why working with the Keller Williams Coastal Property Agent is an advantage to them. This is one of them. We have 300 agents in this office. Our collective offices have over 1,000 agents. We oftentimes will have access to properties 2 or 3 weeks before the public knows about them.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
would
Good
that be
point.
of interest to you?
Yeah, really good point. I love that. Thank you, Stefan. That's awesome. Anyone else? No. All right. So speaking of the market, let's take a look at what they're sharing with us right now and take a look at our trends that we have for our local areas. Many, you
Yeah.
got that one, right?
Yep, thank you. Richard Chung, how's the market? And that's a generous smile, by the way, right? How many listings do you guys have right now?
Under contract, I think 4.
Okay, so the market is good, right? Stefan, same question. How's the market?
The market is I think, heading in the right direction. There's been this pent-up demand. We've been waiting for the economy to slow down and slow down a bit. Rates came down with it. I think the buyer pool is picking up. We have 3 active listings, 1 pending, and really geared up for a strong close to the year. I mean, we had, 4.5 months to go?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, yeah. Rob? Deb, how's the market?
The market's gonna be great, guys, and just do not let, when Simon just said what's happening August 13th, do not let it affect you. It'll affect other people, and that's what I just said earlier. We've gotten a ton of calls, that's why we're getting all these listings now. People want to do it before everything kicks in. Once it kicks in, so you sign the other piece of paper, if you've already signed the other forms, that will allow you to continue to do business as you do business. And I say it again, And yeah, I'm a homer, but thank you for the Pacific Estates person coming over here. That's enough said about Pacific Estates. After 32 years, let them come. Come on. Learn from Meny and Halley and everybody and Richard and Stefan, all the stuff, take advantage, because that's gonna take you, what Meny always says, to the next level. It just.
Yeah, one thing about Rob is consistent, right? Is consistent, and you gotta know his sense of humor. Simon, put the South Bay hat, how's the market?
I think the market is really, really good. The higher end properties over 2.5 million. It's slightly taking a little longer to sell, but price right. This is why it's important for all of you to educate yourself and study the market on a regular basis, right? Stuff like, the market stats, right? Checking the MLS, seeing what's coming up active, pending, under contract, sold, right? All of those variables are important for you to educate and, provide that information to your clients. I think it's a great market, regardless of what it is. If it's high interest rate, low interest rates, people still need to buy, people still need to sell, people still need to invest. That's my take.
Yeah, and I always like to do that exercise because, people come to you, how's the market? You're the first point of contact, maybe the second after, going online and searching. So you have to condition yourself always how to present it, because the market is always what? Full of what? Opportunities. Always up, down, flat, doesn't matter, right? Who's not missing the boring flat years of 2017, 18, 19, right? So it's all relative. So let's look at the market, how it behaved, transact in the Long Beach, Steel Beach, and Lakewood market share. This is median price, and this is for July, okay, last month compared to July of 2023. Look at the units, 560 active listings last year in July compared to 738 this year. That's a significant difference in the inventory, right? So it's definitely, you can definitely feel the inventory that it's walking up. Price point up by almost 9% on the active inventory. So right now it's about $800,000 as of July last month. This is in escrow under contract, 162 compared to 210. So we definitely see way more inventory going in escrow this year compared to last year in July. Price point went up by 14.5%. Again, the average price point in escrow, which is $332,500. We always measure by the closed units. In Long Beach, we had 206 units closed last month. This is for townhomes, condos, single family. Okay, nothing else. You won't see over here triplex, fourplex, duplex. This is again just those type of properties. And 156,206 price point went up by 15.5%. The median 15.5% jump compared to July of last year, right? That's a significant jump. And yes, it fluctuates every month. Anybody knows? I don't remember. Anybody knows what's the year to date? Median, yeah, average.
California.
Either, well, in California it's yeah, either or.
I know it's like 860 still in Long Beach.
Yeah. Also, yeah.
Whole state is 908.
Yeah. Also is over $1 million. It's 1.1 something, I think. Yeah. So we definitely see a jump as of last month, right? Median right now is 912 in Long Beach. That's some big difference. Smaller market. Sorry, that's the Atias report. And all of you have access to the new people in the group. You're going to have a QR code in a second. You can subscribe to Atias, courtesy of Pacific Coast and Escrow, and you can get a lot of more live data by the day. And it reads that it's a strong seller's market right now in Long Beach. This is for the single families. We're going to break it down to houses and condos, where the median list price is 1.149 per square foot is 738, where 35 days, that's the average days, sorry, 61 is the average days on market. 61 days, 2 months, 61 days. It went up a little bit. 4 out of 10 listings are experiencing price decrease. Okay, 4 out of 10, which is a little bit of an increase as well. The average is about what? Anybody remembers? Average? 30%. Okay, that's the average, 30%. And we have 205 inventory, as we mentioned. Median rent is 3,500. It's stacked up a little bit. Median rent is 3,500 in Long Beach for single family homes. Condos, it's a slight seller's advantage. We saw it in the last few months as a strong seller advantage. So it's a bit slight seller's advantage. 545, that's the median list price. 615 per square foot dollar amount. 67 average days on market. So about the same, just over 2 months. 3 out of 10 homes experiencing price decrease, 31%. 3 out of 10, which is the average again. And median rent, $2,195, almost $2,200 in Long Beach. Seal Beach, smaller market, 18 active last year in July compared to 41. It's more than double inventory, where the price point went up by about 3%, 1.65, 1,650, sorry, for the median. 7 escrow compared to 4 last year. And the closed units, 17 sold in Seal Beach last month compared to 12 in July of last year. Pretty, almost the same flat, 2.4% price increase. The median price currently is $1,255,000. Alto says that it is a slight seller's advantage. Usually Seal Beach is on a very strong seller advantage, but it's again, lower inventory overall, 20, where days on market, average days on market is 117 days. Okay, it's over 3 months, 3.5 months or so. So it takes a minute. And let's look at Lakewood. This is the active inventory. Last July, 100 compared to 116 this year. So slightly more that we saw last month, where the average sales price of the active was about 860,000. That's increase of 4%, which is the healthy trend line, right? 4% a year appreciation. That's what you want to see, not 16, 15%, 20%, or what have you, right? The lenders in the room, they're loving it. That's a healthy market. And under contract, 50, pretty break even, 50 this year, 50 July of last year, where same thing with the median, it's about 824 compared to last year, only 1%, over 1% increase. Closed 49 units compared to 44. And I would imagine it would be like more than that, but maybe it's the inventory. I'm not sure why it's moving slower this July. It's Lakewood is a hot market. And the median is currently 836,500. Maybe we're going to see a little slowdown over there, which I'm okay with, right? You don't want to spike because it just keeps spiking this year, month over month, just nonstop. And so increase of about 3.4% increase in the price point. Alto says or indicates that it's a strong, very strong seller's market, about 80% on the mark, where the list price is $895. That's the list price average. $635 per square foot. 29 days on market average, which is like about a month. 28%, so 3 out of 10 homes experiencing price decrease. So it's pretty consistent, right? Doesn't matter which market it represents. And 46 inventory, and the median rent is about $3,700 currently in Lakewood. And I think this is all we have. You can scan this QR code if you don't have the Altos report, so you can subscribe. No cost, pick up your zip codes, cities, and areas or what have you. So you can get those reports on a weekly basis or whatever you you choose. And that's all we have.
Great, thank
Yeah.
you, Meny. You
Thank
guys,
you.
round of applause. Thank you. Gives us a lot of insight here to what's going on. Simon, why don't you come on up here? What do you have to talk to us about today?
Should it? Fun times, right? For sure. As Rod says, August 13, right, is the due date, right? So I wanted to provide you with some updates on the open house visitor non-disclosure agency form, okay? We've been getting a lot of questions regarding this one pager, right? This is straight out of your zip forms. It is a supplement, okay? It's a supplement that allows, with all the new changes happening, it allows you to be in compliance with all of the NAR, what do you call it? NAR settlement. So what it has information that a consumer that's walking into an open house, it's similar to a registry. If you see the form on the very bottom, it says visitor's name, email, and phone number. It has 7 lines in there that a consumer can put their information. Now, the form in question is the standard practice moving forward when it comes to hosting an open house. Now, some of the question is, what if the consumer does not want to sign this? Okay, it's not a condition. Okay, it's not a condition to allow them to see the property. Okay, but it distinguishes the position if a buyer is being represented by an agent or not. To be in compliance, it has specific language in there that says the intention about the property, right? What is your responsibility with a consumer that is just strictly looking at the home or wants to talk a little bit more in detail about the property, the do's and don'ts? One, agent does not represent the visitor, right? Clear as concise. It says unless otherwise agreed in writing, right? Now, there are 4 forms to this form in itself, right? You got the buyer representation agreement, okay? You also have the buyer non-agency agreement, property showing and representation agreement. These are for people that just, hey, I just want to see the property. I'm not even sure if I want to buy a property or sell property, but I want to see the home. Not a problem. Read the information, acknowledge, sign, make yourself at home. Okay. Well, Simon, very nice to meet you, but I don't want to sign this form. Not a problem. I'm limited to what I can say about the property. Please come in here. Here's a flyer. If you have any questions, then either speak with an agent, or if you'd like for me to talk to you, then we have to do one more step, and there's an additional form to it. Okay. So what if the what if the consumer does want additional information? Then that transitions from here to, let's say they want to submit an offer, right? What if you're not the listing agent, right? Because there's language in here that just doesn't align. This is why I have a feeling that this form is going to change. The reason it says here, because it talks about the benefit of the seller. The reason I'm hosting the open house is for the benefit of the seller. Well, if you're not the listing agent, how does it benefit you and the seller? You're not the agent. You're not collecting a compensation or commission, right? You're trying to bring buyers for submission of this property or a property, right? This is why there's a lot of language here that it just doesn't align with me, but subject to change, right, Rob? Everything is subject to change. Always, right? So next, it says about communication with agent on open house property for tour for benefit of the seller. There it is. Communication with agents are not confidential. And it says any information that the visitor reveals to an agent at the open house tour may be conveyed to the seller. But wait a minute. I don't have a listing agreement with the seller. I'm just hosting on behalf of the listing agent, right? So it's a little bit convoluted and a little bit confusing, just like everything else, right? But bear with us, right? When the dust settles, okay, we'll have better ways of best practice in how we're going to navigate this. I can assure you. All these stuff you're hearing from other brokerages, and I'm not going to name brokerages, stop. Stop. CAR has been in existence for over 100 years. They understand the elements of all these forms. And all of these brokerages that are trying to find the best solution shortcut, guess what? It's going to come back to bite them. Now we're implementing things here as well as a company to arm ourselves with the right tools for you to be a benefit to your clients. And we are working with that. But these are the standard forms that we must be using to be in compliance. Does that make sense? Question. Good question.
Make a really nice scrapbook.
Yeah. Use them as notepads on the back.
No, but that's a good question. That's
Yeah.
a really good question.
You know, these, again, this is a one opportunity for you is if you are the listing agent, right? And the consumer does put their information. Remember with the listing agreement, if you're familiar with the listing agreement, it says that if the listing gets canceled or expires, that we must provide the seller with an exclusion list of anyone that had seen the property, submitted an offer, was in escrow, but didn't successfully close. You're going to provide that list because if that buyer comes back after it's canceled or expires, we may still be entitled to what? Compensation. So I would use this as a point of practice to keep it until you either sell the property or the provision that you have on the listing agreement that you put an X amount of times after it expires, then discard it, rip it, shred it, or use it as notepads. We just got to be in compliance to all of the changes. No difference than the changes we saw in 2020. We were going through so much in, you know, the PED forms. You remember that was something that must be provided to the consumer every time you were hosting an open house or showing the property, right? The agents had this. So it's kind of that similar, but it's a registry. So you can use this as a registry for that same practice. Stefan.
So we're clear. We don't have to have this form signed for the buyer, for the prospective buyer to see the property. It's not like in order for us to show a buyer a property, we need the buyer representation, broker compensation agreement signed. But we're hosting an open house. This is something we want them to sign, but it's not required.
It's something to be in compliance. So
When
you,
I say
what-
compliance to me, that
Yeah.
means that we have to have them sign.
yeah, that's the whole purpose of it, is to have it signed. So your job is to explain what this form is, if they have any questions. So when I say in compliance, I mean we have to be in compliance. Does that mean we force someone? Can I force you to sign this? Okay, we can't force anyone to sign.
Could see the open house without signing the PED?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I feel like we can use this to our advantage as a tool of
Yeah.
educating buyers about what's coming and, you know, utilizing some of those points
Yes.
to pinpoint the fact that, guess what? The next property you'll be touring, like you can also really use this to your advantage.
So going back to your question, Stefan, and I'll answer your question regarding PED. The whole purpose regarding PED was to make sure that the consumer knew the risk factor regarding COVID, right? Because in the property, we don't know if any of the family members had COVID, right? And germs and all that stuff. So you're going in your own risk. That was the whole purpose. You're welcome to come in here, and if you sign, this is the disclaimer that says all of the information regarding COVID, right? Wear a mask, make sure you clean, wear gloves, whatever the case may be. That was the whole thing. But it's not a condition of saying, stop, you don't sign this, you can't come into the property, because that's kind of steering and that's kind of discriminating. You're opening a house for the purpose of trying to bring as many viewers to the property with the expectation that we get an offer, right? Or at least get a listing out of it.
Simon,
What's the reason that we would give a buyer to sign this? We need them to sign this because
you mean why does it benefit the buyer?
whatever.
It doesn't benefit the buyer. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was asking a question.
But we have to give a benefit for them to sign it.
Yeah.
To give a value for them, like, we want you to sign this because
It's required.
the seller has.
So
requested-
here-
one second. The seller has requested that all visitors please sign in. That's what we said traditionally to the regular law. What do we say now to this contract looking?
Great.
thing That gets them the reason.
Simon,
What
I
if-
think what you said at the
One
beginning
second,
was a real good one. Yeah.
One second,
yeah,
I want to answer.
Yeah.
What does the very top of this form say, Stefan?
Conversation.
No, I just want to, just
Play along.
play along with the,
Agency.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get to the actual script.
Yeah.
We can put the forum on and read the paragraph.
Yeah.
We have to sell it.
Right.
And I think the sell part is that we need the buyer to acknowledge that we're not representing them.
that's
So
correct.
that's what I was
That's
going to
the
say. What you
conversation.
said in the beginning, Simon, I think was key. I think what's key when if you choose to opt out and to not sign this form, I'm limited to the service and the information I can give you as a buyer. If you, yeah.
If there's anything that we can tell them about, especially when it's not our listing, that we can tell them about the property they can't find in public. I think our part is that we need them to acknowledge that we're not representing them. That's why they signed that agreement.
100%.
There's a change in the way buyers are represented in the
That's
market.
right.
And in order for us to protect our interests and the sellers, we need you to acknowledge that we're not representing them.
Good point.
I still sign that because it's doesn't have a
Good
dollar
point.
amount, we're not representing them.
It's a valid point, Stefan, and that's the reason we're having this conversation, right?
Yes.
What is the best avenue, best way to handle those conversations when you're in an open house? I get it. So it clearly is for the purpose of either you're going to work with me or you're not going to work with me. And this is just
I have a
discussion
question
that
about this.
allows the information to be very transparent.
Okay, go ahead, Gina.
Thank you. I know this question is, I want to preface this with this question is going to probably sound like what Stefan was saying, and I don't think it is, but you have sellers who will say, and I think it's their right, this is where I'm confused, to refuse for people to come through their property if they're not going to let us know who they are. So it's like, it's their house. It's like, it's not someone's right to just come traipsing through the house. If the seller says, no, I have to know everybody who comes through or they can't come through, doesn't the seller still have the right to say that?
Yes. So, but you have to have it in writing. If the seller gives you specific direction, you want to have it in writing. And if that requirement, folks, says, listen, Simon, you know, I know part of your job is to host open house, but I want to make sure that if anyone, and this has always been the same practice, regardless of this form or not, but I want to make sure that I have track of everyone that has seen the property because I have a lot of personal items, valuable things, whatever the case may be, right? As part of my instructions to you, you know, I want to make sure that everyone signs. Now, when they sign, now you can have that conversation under the order of your client that I've been given instructions that if you unfortunately don't sign, the only thing I can provide you is the flyer. I'm sorry.
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
Yes.
One note, Gina, that was a good point. So thank you. I think also it was a bit different when we had the PED because we had the virus called COVID or something like that. And then it was new to everybody. So everybody had to comply. It was whatever you're going to call it. So it was a bit, different psychology of that. This is something new. But to what you said, if you have a really amazing listing and you're going to have 30 something parties showing up, I don't know if you can really monitor who's going to sign, not going to sign. You cannot force, you cannot, stop people from entering. So if you really want to monitor it, want to control it, there's only one thing you can do, which is what? Showing by
Appointment
only. Yeah. Okay, so just to make a point, if you really want to have this applied to whatever, or if it's the seller want to control, right? Because of legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
Showing by appointment only versus like massive open house.
From logistics, I'm sorry, Halley, go ahead.
That's okay. There's a few lines on there. Can you have a couple of different parties signing that same contract, or does it have to be one per?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it doesn't, but it has 7 lines.
7 lines.
Good
7 lines.
Sign it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I would encourage to have extra copies in case you get 20, 40 families coming in.
Good question.
Now, the other question I get is who signs this, right? Does all people that are going, say it's a family of 5, right? Does that mean all 5? No. Just the person that's considering and buying a property or submitting an offer is the only one. So if it's a significant other with children, they don't need to sign. If they're obviously over the age of 18, okay? Only one person needs to sign.
Logistics perspective, I wonder if we could set up something that is like KWCP openhouse.com. And clients can go there and see the form and maybe complete it ahead of time or something to that effect. Because you have people coming through, how do you stop and explain the form to them while you have 32 people coming through your open house? How do you manage that with a 2 or 3 minute conversation with each buyer?
So can I share something that I straight from the California Association of Realtors? So it says the following information. And I think it's just important because again, what's the right answer in relations to any of your questions? So it says the following. What if a visitor refuses to sign anything, but instead just wants to look at the property? First, whatever a buyer signs the form itself, they're welcome to come into the open house and view the property. Signing the form is not a condition of entering the house. However, in the circumstances, it is advisable for the open house agent to be guarded in their discussion. You don't want to create an imply or adverse agency, but merely talk to the buyer while making it clear that you are representing the seller and not the buyer. Does not likely constitute working with a buyer, which requires a written buyer agreement. Unfortunately, since there is no right or wrong line or clear distinguish when talking to a visitor, we lead the visitor to believe that you are working with them, and we caution you regarding this practice. Another approach would be is to refrain from providing any information about the property other than what is on the information sheet prepared by the listing agent. Engaging beyond that may lead to the visitor to believe that the open house agent is acting as their agent. If the visitor is asking for information beyond its contained in the information sheet, the open house agent should tell the visitor that they cannot provide such information unless the visitor is willing to sign in. That would be a more constructive risk management approach. Finally, the listing agent may simply provide the buyer with a buyer non-agency agreement form BNA. This will help document the fact of the non-agency even if the buyer does not sign it, providing it should prevent the agency by implications. Hope that kind of puts a little bit of perspective to it.
Clear as mud?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes, my dear. What's your question?
If you're listing, you still have this out, have people sign?
Yes.
Good question. Yes.
Yes.
Good question.
If it's your listing or if you're hosting hosting an open house for another agent, this is the form we have to use.
And again, to reiterate, this is to protect you as an agent, right? To protect you. Anyone else? Questions? Comments? All right.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you, Thank you, Simon. When you guys see him, give him a big old giant hug for me. Bulletproof vest. Someone just say COVID's back. Stop it. Stop it. All right, James, what do you have for us? Come on up here. What do you have for us? James.
Hey everybody, as you know, we are a very busy office, and because the reason we're so busy is because we have the best agents here in the office. That's the reason. So look at we have the best agents here in the office. So look at your left, look at your right. You're sitting beside the best agent, and you are a best agent. Anyway, a lot of agents now are building teams and they're restructuring their teams. So what I'm asking is the rainmaker or the head of each team to email me the lists of the team members, the most updated list of the team members or the group members in their group. This is going to help them out when they run reports. They can be able to see, have more access, share information with the team. The other thing, all those who have teams or groups, it's good to have, you know, a team agreement in place, because there are some who have a team but don't have a team agreement. it's good to have a team agreement in place and also send that to me. If you have it, or if you already sent it before to the prior MCA, please send me one so I can have it for my records. And just as soon as you can, all the rainmakers or the head of the team members, please email me a list of your team members. That's all I have for today. See you next week.
Awesome. Thank you, James. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we did get a new program of how we run things on the market center end. And I just want to give a shout out to James because prior, for many, many, many years, they did this thing called transmittal at the end of every month, where our office sends all of our data and information to Keller Williams International. And this month was the first month that James got to learn the entire new system and did his month-end close on a totally new process. So I just want to say thank you. The patience that you've had. It took us, normally we close the month on day 1 or day 3. It took us like 6 more days, but you know, it's just the way the system works. But you guys, he's an awesome rock star. So thank you, James. Glad to have you up here. Sarah, what do you have for us? Are you here, my dear? She running around? No. All right, let's move on to our others. Miss Brandy, welcome. What do you have for us?
Different, but if it gives you guys any comfort, I was at an open house for a top producer.
Just hold it. You're
okay?
fine. Yeah.
A few days ago, they had a taco truck, so that made them stand out. But they're having everybody fill out that form, and it was little to no incident. Everybody just signed it. They didn't ask too many questions. There was 1 or 2 people that did, and there were 55 people that came through that open house. So just, you know, if that gives you any comfort, you know, let you know, and just yeah. Just tell them to sign it, you know, look at all the stuff they give access to online that they don't even pay attention to, right? So anyways, home warranty stuff. I'm Brandy Zamora with Fidelity National Home Warranty. And I wanted to remind you guys of something. We had 50 people from another home warranty company come over to our company recently. Okay. I won't say what home warranty company it is, but whenever that happens, we like to ask them the 411 of like what they like better, what they don't like better. And one of the things that they kept pointing out is that we offer the friends and family discount. And so I just want to remind you guys about that. Do you guys know what like a realtor's friends and family discount is? Okay. So when you have a direct sale, so that's a home warranty that you want to purchase outside of escrow. There's a 30-day waiting period, and there's an additional $150 fee to do that. You, as the realtor, that $150 fee is waived for you. It's also waived at renewal. You never have to pay a renewal fee. I believe we're the last home warranty company that does that. So Mike is shouting me out because he's one of the people that knows about it. But so with that though, so it's not just for you, but if you go, hey, Brandy, my mom wants to sign up for a home warranty, they can have your discount as well. So just a reminder that that is something that's available to you. Just call me if you want it for your personal home or friend or family's house, and I'm happy to do that for you. I just have to do that on the back end and apply the discounts for you and whatnot. Okay, so there's that. And then I also wanted to remind you guys about multi-unit home warranty coverage. Anytime you have a multi-unit, a ADU, a mother-in-law suite, a casita, a triplex, a fourplex, just pick up the phone and call me so I can make sure that you have the right coverage, the right plan. A lot of people will give you the wrong policy based on it's a duplex instead of it's a single family residence with an ADU and things like that. It's based on square footage when you do that, and it can just get confusing, and you just want to make sure you have the right coverage. And then keep in mind, we only go up to fourplexes. If you have more than 4 units on a lot, we will price that out as condos with a $25 discount per unit. So it's complicated. Just call me if you have multi-units. All right, guys, make it a great day.
Thank you, Brandy.
Hey,
Pass
Halley,
it on down there.
Hallie, can I say something about Brandy really quick?
Yeah,
I
sure.
have to like give a major shout out because like you guys like do not take it for granted. She has made me look like a rock star because with my buyer, I paid a little extra for him to get a little extra coverage with something, and it was so worth it because just since March, he had to get 2 different things handled, and he's sending me text messages like you have completely saved my butt and all this. And it was Brandy. It was completely Brandy, but I was so happy to have gotten that because already it has saved him thousands of dollars. So I'm a huge fan of home warranty, and I love that like it made me look like a rock star. And this guy's a sheriff, and so I'm looking for referrals from the sheriff's department. So
That's great.
it just makes you look so good when these things get covered.
Awesome. Thank you, Gina. And shout out to Brandy. All right. What do you have for
Hey, good
us?
afternoon, everyone. Michelle Klein with Fidelity National Title. Okay, there's a lot going on in this room today, I'm just going to say. And as August 13th is approaching, you guys are getting so much education right now and so much that has to be done. But you really need to be focusing on it's all about bringing your value and showing your worth now to the consumer on why they need you. So restructuring some of your marketing and things like that, we've got several pieces and a lot of content that'll help get you guys through this. For our texters out there, your business has to come from everywhere. It needs to be coming, from your farm, your sphere of influence. People do it online. Also expireds. Did you guys know that expireds in the last 12 months have doubled nationwide? So keep that in mind. We've got a great letter for expireds, helped a client get an appointment for a $25 million listing. So as you're going through all these processes, we've got a lot of content. For our texters, we've got a text piece, reaching out to the client when you're doing, maybe you're going to redo a market evaluation for them. But the great thing to also share with them in the meantime is like, hey, and I just did one for another client. Did you know last 12 months, they've gained 54,000 or whatever dollars on their equity, and then add a call to action, which we can talk about that piece further on what a call to action is and what that would be for your just sold marketing. I see a lot of marketing out there where people will say sold for $100,000 over asking or sold for 75 over asking or whatever that is. How about when you do your just sold marketing, think about putting it out there. Zestimate says this property was worth 1.1 whatever. We sold it at 375. This is a $275,000 difference. Why? Because you're showing your value, why they need to be working with you as an agent and things like that. So really everything coming down the pipe here is going to be continuing on bringing your value. Agents, we have templates. Been listening to some Tom Ferry coaching. So agents should be doing resumes, professional looking resumes on why they need to hire you. So if you need a template on something like that, we can help you lay out a proper resume, what that needs to look like. And I do like the idea. Oops, sorry, I knew that was going to happen. Sorry, guys. 49 ways. Oh, sorry, the microphone. Let me just do this. I'm not like sprinkling paper in here. Hey, thanks. Sorry about that. So 49 ways how such and such team can help you guide you to your dream home. So the 49 ways, we've got the content of all 49 ways, what that is. And each day you do a video on this one, that one, the next one. There's 49 days of marketing content for you on your video marketing. Okay. So buyers agents, track your worth. Track what you are getting as far as like, what is your success? What are you getting in your negotiations? What are you getting for credits, repairs, things like that? All about tracking your value. Okay. So I just want to point out some of that stuff to you guys. I put out a couple pieces for you. These are just some misconceptions about buyer's agents. These are a couple pieces found on our Fidelity Agent One app. So there's a ton more new content on there available to you, but I just put a couple pieces out. Also, for all my paper pushers out there or people who still have paper, I brought desk calendars, large or small.
Thank you.
So please take them, raise your hand if you need one. And I've got more in the trunk, so please take them.
Awesome. Thank you. I said it right there. All right. Hey, so I think you have like the coolest job of this whole meeting because you get to talk about mortgage stuff, right? You can just kind of hold it. Those are for zoomies. Kind of near you or clip it on either one.
I think we got two of the side. Boom.
There you go. Is Alex soft shoeing? What are you doing?
I do, but I almost broke my ankle. Yeah, that hurt. I know, right? 599. The government ones are the real winners here. Those ones are really low. The FHA, VA, as you can see, kind of mid fives, and then jumbos, yeah, still hovering kind of in the mid sixes. But take a look. This is what we got on our 30-year fixed rates across the board. These are purchase rates. These are, fairly qualified clients, right? But even the ones that have medium credit are still going to be in the low sixes. So we've seen about 0.5% down over the last 2-3 weeks.
Really good.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So yeah, Reed and we are right up in the front. My name is Alex. I put together a scenario because I just come up here with what I'm hearing every week from you guys texting, calling. I put together a scenario for a bridge loan. It's on this piece of paper. I'm sorry I didn't make it to the back, but the cool thing about the bridge loan, it works kind of like, we think you got two properties. You're taking cash out of the property that you own to go buy the new one. The cool thing is that that loan that you're getting on the property that you currently own doesn't really have a payment for it. Okay. It just gets added on to the loan. And then when you sell that house, it gets paid off. It also doesn't hit the client when they're qualifying for the new one. So they can go and get their cash out of their current house, go buy the new one, and they only got to qualify for the new loan. It's very important. So I put the scenario together. I feel like you guys get confused on the bridge thing. You think it's not for everybody though, right? It's not. They're slightly higher. Yeah. So the bridge one I put on the form is 6.5. Because it's not just your run of the mill broker bank that can go and do it, right? It's a little bit more specific of a bank. But it's for a client that has equity. It's for a client that has a house that's free and clear, or owes 200 on a $1.2 million house. It's not for your client that, bought their house 2 years ago that wants to now roll it over to the next place. Okay. So it's still a specific client, but I feel like this can kind of help you guys understand how it works. So you don't go, hey, I got this client that needs a bridge when they only have 20 grand of equity. That won't work. I got a client that needs a bridge when they have 500 grand of equity. Great. They can use that to pay off the debt that they have too, right? They can pay off their car. They can pay off their credit cards and then roll it into the down payment on the other place. So keep it in mind, take a look. I'm up front, and please come and see me if you got any questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Oh, man. Those slides make me so happy now. Just in case you guys don't know, the Keller Williams agent sites upgrades are going to be launched, and they're going to now be mandatory. So you may or may not have upgraded and already changed over your site. It was launched about a year ago, but it was an opportunity for you to opt in and or keep your old KW sites with all the pages you had built before on whatever platform you were using through eEdge. But now they will be automatically upgraded as of the 15th. If you aren't sure if your KW website has already been upgraded, the blog feature is a good way to be able to tell this. So if you scroll on your page and you see a blog with pre-uploaded blog features, you know that you have the upgraded. If you don't, more than likely you don't. But call and talk to Dougie. We can help you guys transfer it over. If you have custom pages, he can help you transfer them over, things like that. Again, this is the KW specific branded that's provided to you as our agent. So if you have any more questions, reach out to Dougie and he can help you with that, especially saving your reviews. That's super important on the custom page if you guys have reviews that are getting fed into there. Our top producer mastermind, understanding the new buyer broker agreement. And let's be super clear, this isn't a broker's class. This is a session where our top agents are going to be talking about how they are navigating the conversation about this agreement, what's working, what do they see in the future. It's going to be moderated by Simon and Meny. And myself, I'll be here in person. You guys, it is on Zoom, so you can join on Zoom, but we will have, I know Stefan here in Coastal, and we'll be playing it in the bullpen. So if you want to come join us in person, that would be wonderful too. And that's happening tomorrow at 11:30 to 12. Okay, so just a quick little meeting. Command training with Dougie. Here's your command sessions you have. Again, utilize the best tools. You're already paying for them. Build your database the easy way on Wednesday, August 7th. So it's tomorrow from 1 to 2. And then generate leads using your command and mobile app. Again, a great opportunity to educate more and how command can help bring you more business. Navigating the RPA, Simon using those specific sections, and then talking about the SPBB form. That's happening this Friday at 10:30, you guys. Of course, we have Mega Agent Camp next week. I even had one agent, Tony, that ended up going. So now we just squeaked him in. So don't worry if you still want to go. We're going to find a way to get you there. So come talk to me. We're flying out on Sunday. It's going to be a really good time. The following team meeting after that, after we get back, we will be doing takeaways. We're going to talk about Gary's market stats. So that'll be a big meeting. You definitely want to put on your calendar. Get ready for these classes. Richard came to us and wanted to put these on the calendar, and these are going to be invaluable. So you guys want to make sure you're going to be here. The best open house strategy you will ever see. So don't just hold the house open to get leads. You're going to get the appointment. Richard's going to talk about the new agreement, how they're using it with the sign-in, and then again, booking appointments at open houses. You're not just getting leads. So mark your calendars. That's happening on the 21st, Wednesday from 12 to 1 p.m. It is on person and on Zoom. I have one more Dodger night ticket. Someone needs to come see the Dodgers with us. It's going to be a great group of us together, you guys. Let's get someone here from Coastal. Come and talk to me, and I'll give you guys some more details for our Dodgers night that's happening on the 21st. We have Creativity Inc. How's our book club doing over there, ladies? You guys, this is such a good book. This is one of my favorites. So good.
It's really good.
It's a good book.
I don't know if I can speak to you, but it's really good, really well written. You can get it from the library, you can listen to it, and the copies are coming. So
The copies are coming.
I'm enjoying it, but I'm not for you. So.
Great, thank you. And even if you don't enjoy the book, it's a great networking group and a little bit of wine and a little bit of food. It's a great time. It's always super entertaining. Just in case you haven't, our Millionaire Real Estate Agent Volume 2 books have just been released. You guys can scan the QR code. We'll help you order them. Great. Reimagine is happening. Again, mark your calendars for Reimagine in Long Beach. On September 24th is our paid day, and the 25th and 26th is free if you're a California Association of Realtors member. Sorry, I'm going to mute whoever. I'm just going to mute the whole speaker. There we go. So make sure you mark your calendar. Again, a great day of fun, Expo Center. You get to see technology, tools, classes. It literally goes on and on. Come join. There's usually a big group of us that go, probably 30, 40 people. I'll be at the Expo booth and you can come by and say hi, right? Just another plug, our script and role play conversations. Practice not on your clients, but on your fellow colleagues. Come and join us for script and role play any of these days. And thank you guys. Thank you very much for sticking around to the end. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's get our music back on.
Okay, I think that should do it for right now.